I'm going to tell you an example or show you an example of my own remodeling company and how I went from getting no leads online to getting enough leads to be booked out for years and to actually even have to pump the brakes and slow things down and stop taking appointments because we just couldn't handle all the phone calls that were coming in. So let's start at the beginning. Just a few years ago, things were going pretty well, but we found ourselves pretty slow in the wintertime. And even though I've been doing marketing for years for other people, my own family's business was kind of on the back burner. And you know how it goes. If things aren't broken, then you don't fix them. But a couple years ago, we were pretty slow. And my dad called me one day and said, "Hey, we need to get more customers. Do your thing, whatever you do." And so I looked into it, and yes, our website was very old and outdated. Our competitors were kicking our butts on Google, and nobody was really finding us. So we went through and we redesigned our website, and we just made it professional. A website for a contractor only has to do a few things. It has to look professional. It has to be found online. It has to show people the information that they're looking for. For us in remodeling, they want to see pictures, they want to see some testimonials, they want to read or watch videos about us, the people behind the business, so they can get an idea of who we are and gauge whether or not they trust us. And they want to know what they need to do, what is the process. Most people, they don't really understand how this goes, so they need us to show them. And by showing them how this is going to go and guiding them carefully through this process, it makes them view us as professionals and as experts. So besides that, we just need to make it really easy for them to contact us. So those 5 things, if your website can take care of those, you're pretty much good to go. Now, we got our website sorted, but we still needed to get people to it. So for that, we used Google Ads. Used to be called AdWords. Now, Google Ads isn't my favorite way to generate leads. It can be very expensive, but it's fast. And so we flipped the switch, we turned on some Google Ads, we started getting people to our website, and within a couple weeks, we had projects on the books. Now, it doesn't always work out that simply or that easily, but because in our city, it's not super competitive like it is in Los Angeles or New York or somewhere that's more populated, we were able to get a few jobs going for just a couple $100s. So once we had those jobs going, we turned the Google Ads off and we switched our attention to Google Maps. So Google Maps is the modern day equivalent of being on Main Street. If anybody in your area searches for your service, they're going to see Google Maps at the top of the screen. And if your company is one of the 3 businesses up there, like ours is now, you're going to get more phone calls. Besides that, you just need to make sure you have a few good reviews, and people will read those reviews, trust you, go to your website, vet you a little further. If they don't see any red flags, then they're going to get a hold of you. And that's how it works for us. So over the last 2 years, we've worked really hard to make sure that our website and our Google listing shows up at the top of Google when people are looking. And that's done through the art of search engine optimization. So you can Google that term, you can learn about that if you want, but that is what it took for us to get to the front page of Google so that people found us instead of finding our competitors. Because we do have quite a few competitors these days, we've got dozens of them, but since we show up at the top of the list on Google, we get all the attention. So fast forward a little bit, and we were just so busy. I was on a roof one time installing rafters and getting phone calls and having to take notes on the rafters. And then I had to remember to call these people back later. I had to play phone tag with them to set up appointments. And I found that a lot of my time was going just to setting up appointments with all these people that were calling. So since I didn't have time to do all this, I had to figure out an alternative way. And we ended up putting an automated calendar on my website so that people can go through, they find us, they read our reviews, they look through our website, they like us, and they want to set an appointment. They fill out the contact form, it spits them out into the calendar. They can pick a time on my calendar that works for them. Now, I'm very selective about that. I only let them choose times on Fridays, and they have to choose a time that's at least 30 days from now, because I can't be My schedule is just so full that's kind of the time delay. And this helps qualify people too, because if they want something done right away, we're just not the right company for them at this point in time. So they choose a time on my calendar that works for them. They fill out the little form there, and as soon as they hit submit, they get an email, I get an email, I get a text notification as well. Just in case it's a really, really good lead and I decide that I want to meet them sooner or call them right away, I can do that. But for the most part, I'll just let it go, and the calendar will also put this appointment on my Google Calendar and their Google Calendar. So that way, all I have to do every Friday is open up my Google Calendar. I can see all my appointments there, and I don't really have to do anything until it's time to go meet with these people. So it's really easy for me to do what I need to do, and it's cut out a ton of time and hassle of trying to play phone tag and set appointments. I'm not an appointment setter, I'm a contractor. On their end, they absolutely love it. Every single person that's gone through this has commented saying they loved how easy it is for them to go through, set up an appointment, in the typical fashion, and what they experience with other companies is what I just described. They call, they leave a message, hopefully they get a call back. Sometimes they don't, sometimes it's a week later, and they're not able to complete what they're trying to do at that point in time. They want to set an appointment and move on with their day, but they just have to leave a message and delay that. But with us, they can set that appointment right away, so they can go through this whole process from finding us to vetting us to setting the appointment all in like 5 minutes, and they love that. So at this point, we're almost heading into winter now, and we've got projects booked out for a couple of years. We've got appointments lined up. We're not even taking appointments anymore. We're just finishing up the appointments that were already scheduled from the past. And if at any time we feel like it, we can turn this back on, let people set appointments with us. But this is all because we're found on top of Google, our website's professional, and we make it super easy. So this is how marketing and lead generation is supposed to look. It's not supposed to look like spending thousands of dollars a month with HomeAdvisor, investing in their website and not yours. And it's not supposed to be relying solely on Google ads and spending thousands a month there, hopefully getting the right leads, but oftentimes getting all these garbage leads that either don't turn into phone calls or appointments, or maybe they're not even real people. It's really hard to say. But everybody that finds us on Google Maps, goes through our website and sets up an appointment is a real person. They've already decided that they want to work with us, and all we have to do is finish going through the process with them. So if you like the way that this looks and it's something that you think might fit for your company, give us a call. My second company, Adapt Digital Solutions, is made up of an awesome team of marketers who specialize in doing exactly what I just described for contractors like you. So hit us up at our website. You can read about us there. I've got other videos on this channel where I talk more about how all this stuff works. Feel free to check that out. Subscribe if you want to hear more of this content in the future, and I look forward to hearing from you.